All right, Cowboys suck. Nico's the best. Blah 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 blah. I have lived in the Shire for the past bunch of years, and all of my mates just sent me messages after this game, just little cheeky jabs. And I was like, it's okay. I know the Cowboys are crap. It's fine. The Sharkies, on the other hand, I tipped them to come second this year, and with Nico at the helm, I think that there's every chance that they get there. Roosters, I had them up the top as well, and they're obviously faltering a little bit, but Sharks sort of coming into their own, and they're just so strong across the park. They're when they get it out to those edges, like the Talakai flick passes, the Kennedy touch on passes, Talakai's touch on as well, but just incredible. And Nico just doing everything, literally everything. It's incredible. He had like almost 400 kick meters at half time to go along with that delightful offload try assist in the start of the game. Did have 3 errors in this one, but that was where the negatives stopped, and he was incredible. And 95, if you have brought him in of recent time, you're absolutely cheering. There were a bunch that brought him in this week as well, and I thought that was a good play. Like people that were going from Haas to Nico, and he was clearly the best captaincy option as well, so to slap the C on him and pick up that 95, you're very, very happy with his output. To help me and make this a little bit easier on the fantasy side, I have Hynes in SC, and I captained him there, and also have Teague Wilton, so that was finally a good try from him. Was very helpful. If you still own Wilton in fantasy, back up to a 50 average after his low one last week, and has done a good job for you. But yeah, Hynes, would you pick him up over the next few weeks? Like, surely he has to play Origin though. So, and yeah, where do you get the 1.05 mil to select him in your squad? And that's the only reason we didn't get him in the first place. He was just so expensive, and it just meant that you were missing out in every other position, like wing, fullback, centre. You had to be struggling, potentially hooker as well. You couldn't really have Grant, Haas, Hynes, Cleary, and then some good wing fullbacks and centres as well. So that is what it is. We move on. We'll get him eventually. Tom Dearden, best game of his year by far. Wasn't even close. In a losing side, for him to get 66 was big. Not really an option. He's also favored to cash, obviously, because he did really well last year. But that's that. Talakai on to a bit of a run at the moment. 63 for him. A couple of decent ones in a row. A try, a couple of nice tries. His 200 metres gained was big for him. Ronaldo Mulatalo, let's give him a clap, guys. He didn't stuff up his tries this time. Yay. Didn't put his hand on the line. And still in there, the antagonist was in there doing his thing. But 3 line breaks, a couple of tries in there. And a try saver. That was a good tackle, actually. So well done, Ronaldo. 43 average for him. But again, he's a wing fullback centre. He's a winger in the wing fullback position. Not ideal. Brayley, he's improving his scores as well. 57 in this one. 75 minutes. Did go off early for that 5 minutes to go. McInnes jumped in at dummy half in that one. But did his job. 3 tackle breaks and an offload. 71 run meters, which is unexpected. And yeah, it's been growing a little bit over the last little bit and doing his job for sure. Robbo, the statsmen hate Robbo, don't they? 54 overnight, and then down to 51. He looked better last night. Look, if there wasn't 44 points thrown up against him, I think that he does get up to close to that 60 mark, and that would be fine. He looked way better yesterday than he did the week before, and he gets a 1 point extra. So it's funny how it works that way, doesn't it? But yeah, base stats were there for him. 46 tackles, 1 miss. Did have an offload, and there was a few times they just kind of just grabbed onto him and kept him from going through for that line break. But yeah, his running game is great when he does take it. A lot of time he doesn't there. Okay, let's talk about the bench forwards for the Sharkies. So I've got McInnes, and obviously it was very annoying. Started the game great, 30 and 32 minutes, and then when he came back on, it was just try. And then he got the knock on as well. A good tackle from one of the boys there. Just got up onto him quick and just squeezed that ball out. But McInnes there, Jack Williams really deserved his minutes. He had a terrific line break. Obviously, good run from him. Horrendous tackling from Nanai there. Wasn't ideal at all. And just the Cowboys have been just terrible overall. So, yeah, that just epitomised it. And then you have injuries to Townsend, injuries to Tom Chester. That makes me so sad. Apparently, it's ACL. I love Tommy, obviously. But for my fantasy team, for the Cowboys, just seems like a nice kid, and yeah, didn't deserve that. He just tried his heart out as always. But Robbo, if you are looking to pick him up over the next few weeks as well, yeah, I'd probably wait still, to be honest. There's other guys that are still scoring better. The McInnes situation. So Hamlin Uele is out, unfortunately. It looks like him probably MCL. So they'll have Finucane coming back, which is good, but Rudolph and Braden out, which means McInnes minutes probably stay similar. They need to have a much closer game because he is that tackle bot and runs well. 110 metres, 30 tackles, 1 tackle break there. They took away his second tackle break, unfortunately. But I agree. I don't think I saw a second one, but I was watching it very closely. But Jack Williams deserved it. He got 44 minutes. Braden got 40 odd as well. They also had Royce get 30, and then they kept Graham out there, who is the person that comes off on and off for McInnes there. So yeah, one of those things. Unfortunately, got the lower minutes, but hopefully he does get that 50-ish long term. 54 would have been ideal like last week and every other week, but of course, this is how it works out. And yeah, no attacking stats for him, unfortunately. But yeah, I think you hold on. I could potentially use him as a trade out target just because he's got no mid-range money. Take the 49 and the 41 that he's got for me and move him on potentially to this guy, Drinkwater. Could be the play next week, just around how much he's going to cost and sort of being able to just make one trade rather than doing multiple. Drinkwater was on 31 overnight, and got his update to 41. So in this one, a couple of offloads. He did run the ball plenty again, so that was good signs. And he's kicking a fair bit too, 240 kick meters for 8 points. So if he can keep that up, if he's getting sort of 150 meters, 7 or 8 kick meters, points for kick meters there, then you're looking at 20 odd in base there. He did tackle 9 tackles for 0 misses, was helpful as well. And then just no attacking stats. They got smashed. So if he didn't get 41, I think that's enough signs that he's kind of back in a decent way, but the team is just so bad. So they're not going to play Sharks every week, but it's still not great in general. Nakora, he might be out just a week or two. It sounds like could be just bone bruising and stuff like that. Didn't look great at all. Hopefully it's nothing bad, nothing like what Pap experienced with his kneecap, but yeah, it sounds like he may have avoided really bad injury, and it could just be a week-to-week thing. But if you traded him in, very upsetting. In this one, there's another guy later on that's very upsetting if you did trade him in as well. Kyle Felt picked up a try again in this one and 39 points, so he will go up again in price, and he's doing a great job if you have picked him up over the last few weeks at that really cheap price that he had there. Tanua Brown, 39. Kennedy, 38 was solid as well. A nice try assist for him. He's actually scoring a lot better this year, and if we were able to get him at this point last year, he was about 250k and about to go up a little bit, but had that sort of negative game in him, which he just doesn't have anymore. He's getting better and better each and every game, which is exciting for Sharks guys and Sharks supporters, and also him, which is great. Jordan, 37. Goz, big 36 for Goz there. Another one where he's gone up a fair bit last week, and he's going to go up again this week. But Lukey has to be close, but also Nanai probably gets suspended as well, so he probably stays there. Goz in that position. Maybe goes over to the right, and Lukey get back onto his left-hand side. Horgan Kafusi, if you brought him in, 32. Yeah, about what we expected for points-wise and PPM. Moylan, 28. Holmes over 26. For him, just he tried his best, obviously, but yeah, it wasn't to be. 110 run meters, 1 tackle break, 3 missed tackles. Yeah, not his game at all. Did get bulldozed there for that try at the end, which try in the first half, which wasn't nice at all. But that's that. Yeah, Hamlin, probably see him out for a little bit. Granville at 25. Again, not ideal with him. 4 missed tackles, an error in this one. Didn't run the ball as much as last week. And yeah, the missed tackles kind of hurt him. 25 is okay, but it means he'll make some money this week, but it will begin to slow down a little bit. He needs sort of to get back into the 30s for him to actually make some decent money. So at the moment, you've got him as a guy that you probably don't want to play in your side, which I know a bunch of people would have. If you did loop him, good idea. Surely you did loop him. He's the guy that you wanted to this week, especially game 1. And so many players injured and suspended, injured, suspended, and on the bye this week. Granville was probably your guy to loop. The guy that you didn't want to loop and you wanted a good score out of was Ruben Cotter, 22 in his 35 minutes. Obviously, PPM wasn't there as much as it was in previous. A lot of the time when he was on the park, they were getting scored on, which wasn't ideal. But Peyton, after the game, said he passed a fitness test yesterday and got him out there and didn't feel and look as great, he said. So they just took him off after the 35. Obviously, he played a bit into the second half and then just took him off from there. So yeah, not ideal for Cotter and all your owners. Whoever traded him in last week, obviously got the big one. If you trade him this week, it's very upsetting. And hopefully he's just back to his best next week. So just any of that money-making potential, any of the points you're looking at, just going out the window. And it just sucks, to be honest. So I don't have him, but I know a lot of people brought him in, and it just would suck. Like, I'm sorry, guys. That's footy, obviously, but it's you have the certain plan, and you think that something like Cotter coming in and doing really well, apart from any injury, would be really safe, and unfortunately it wasn't to be. So very sorry for that. Nanae has just been horrendous all year. I don't even know what to say. How does he go into Origin and have a really good game, and then he comes back in here and he can't even play a half decent for the Cows. Just misses tackles for fun, sin bins, penalties. Ugh, just yuck overall for Nanae in that one. Not really much else to say on that one. What about the Jordan McLean one in the first half? So he went off at the 15-minute mark. Listen to that. 15 minutes for Cotter, who came on at the 15-minute mark last week. And he took himself off for a free HIA interchange. Is that sus? Or did he actually have a HIA? You guys can make the decision on that one.